nervous?
No.
Where's your answer?
Dennis Beckham, let the ball on! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Oh!
Oh, no! Oh, yes! He missed it!
Welcome to the Suffering from Joy podcast. My name's Devan. We couldn't get Scott for the full episode today, so we're going to give you a little bit of his opinions to start off, and a brief start from Brad, and then we're going to jump to the full episode. So thanks for your patience. This is going to be a little choppy to start, but we'll get into the fun stuff, and fuck yeah, we're fucking finalists. Let's fucking go.
Hello, everyone. This is Scott Speck. I unfortunately couldn't attend the recording of the rest of the episode, but Devan was kind enough to let me share a few thoughts on last night's win. Stock rising, Nico Estevez. He chose this lineup, including Julio Cascante, which makes sense due to Minnesota's love of set pieces, thanks to their head coach, Eric Ramsey, who's a former set piece coach. Nico also deserves a lot of credit for making impact subs and his team playing with more energy and desire to win through the entire 120 minutes. It looked like Minnesota was kind of okay with going to penalties, which doesn't really make sense when you're going against Brad Stuver and have Dane St. Clair on your side, but that was a strategy they decided to go with. Stock falling is the song Wonderwall by Beatles knockoffs The Oasis. It's a bad song and people should feel bad for liking it. Making it an entire club mantra is even worse. Moment of suffering. The obvious choice here is the goal by Joaquin Pereira to get them level, but my suffering is that I had planned on being there for this match, and unfortunately my schedule didn't allow for it. I experienced a lot of FOMO around this, and also really happy for the 150 plus Austin FC fans that were able to make the trip and experience this in person. It's a special privilege for us to be able to host the US Open Cup final. I can't be more excited about it. The idea that this team that I followed since its inception could win their first trophy on their home field and me be able to watch in person is the reason why we are sports fans. I also realized that watching this team that I followed since its inception lose their first final on their home field while I watch in person is exactly why this podcast exists. Thanks, everybody.
CJ fucking Bouldry!
Welcome back to the Suffering from Joy podcast. You just heard from Scott and some version of Brad and Carrie and some sort of existential joy about scoring goals that, we occasionally get to do here. So that was a lot of fun. Since we already mentioned him, Brad, how you feeling today? It's been about 22 hours since the goal went in.
There's a famous line from when Ric Flair won the world title in 1992 in the Royal Rumble, where Mr. Perfect, after Ric Flair cuts the promo, goes, we're not ones to say, we told you so, but we told you so.
Ric Flair is an American treasure.
Feeling great.
Yeah. Fun story about him, but not for today. I'll tell you sometime. Seth, you were at the game. Do you want to give us a little bit of a travelogue and how this went for you in person?
Yeah. So this was a fun one. I mean, I admittedly was a little abbreviated on my festivities compared to some other people. I only got up there Wednesday. We had 30 plus people at the Twins Yankees game on Tuesday night. I think some people attempted the 999 challenge. I don't think anyone successfully finished the 999 challenge. Like, that is something. It was dollar hot dog night, so this was like sort of affordable. But
I mean, that's still a $130 challenge.
No. So there were $6 beers.
Okay, so yeah, that's okay.
So it is still.
For the listeners, explain it.
Yeah, like it is. So for those who don't know, the 999 challenge is something that has become popular on TikTok this year of people who eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers and 9 innings of baseball. JJ Watt successfully did it at a Brewers game earlier this year. But like some of our fans, well, they might be in shape. They're not in JJ Watt shape, both athletically and eating and drinking wise. So like for JJ Watt, that's fine. For an average human being, no, that's vile. Like, no, I'm good.
No, and if you're in like professional athlete shape, you have a much better metabolism to process that.
Yes. Even though he's, obviously a couple years retired at this point. But I was saying it was, with $1 hot dogs and $6 beers. I think it was only been $68 with all the taxes to do that, which is not atrocious for a big league park. They actually got to see a decent game. Twins almost came back around 10-1 and got it to 10-9, but did not pull it out for a team that sold, 2/3 of their players in the last 2 months.
So it could have almost been like a 99999 while somebody's partner is in the background yelling 99999.
Yeah, and I'm sure the injury law firm was you can call 612-999-999 for your area Minnesota dealers or whatever.
Okay, let's never mention the number 9 for the rest of the show. Anyway, how else? How did it go? How was the game?
Yeah, so we had a great turnout. We had Minnesota was really nice enough to give us the entire section, not just like rows like 10 and above that we purchased. So like a few other people in Verde came over to the section, and it ended up being pretty full but we had enough room to space out and have capos. The Minnesota folks were great. They allowed us multiple drums and trumpets, and like it sounded like a regular Murga set. Like I'm very curious how it came across on TV.
We could hear you over the Wonderwall quite often during the game.
Yeah.
How was the crowd overall? Like full in the stadium or half full?
So the announced attendance was a little over 14,000, which means it was about 75% full. Because we're up. I mean, Devan, you haven't been up there. Brad, you've been up there before. You can't really see the lower deck of the east side of the stadium there when you're there. But there were a lot of empty seats behind the non-Wonderwall goal, and then the second deck of where they're like above their luxury seats on the west side was completely empty, but the rest of it was fairly full.
That sounds about the size crowd that I saw the U.S. men's national team in a friendly there against Qatar or somebody like that, and it was about 15,000.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad. It felt like a decent atmosphere, and like it was definitely like when the people in the sections next to us heard what we were doing, the amount of people that went to guest services and got earplugs right away was like the Surdo is loud. Like even just the amount of people that kept turning around. I mean, like, what the heck is going on here?
So there were multiple comments on social media that I saw, which was these Austin fans are loud, but it's kind of awesome, and respect to them. Like it was the common thread among people just talking about the fan base being there.
Yeah, no, it was very cool to see how. I mean, the drum major for the Wonderwall, or the Thunderwall, the drum line of the Wonderwall, which is pretty awesomely named, came up and like chatted with us for like 5 minutes during the match. He's like, "We've never seen an away section like this at Allianz Field."
So
And you know what? I do hope that we actually allow Nashville to bring some instruments. Like it's a cup final. I do think US Soccer is in charge of some of that stuff. I did appreciate some of the little bit of rules differences that we had last night in the game. One of my favorite moments of the match, obviously, I don't know if you guys picked up on this because this probably did not come across on TV. So because it was a US Open Cup match, the 2-minute power play rules did not apply, and the 10-second sub rules did not apply. So when Dessler came off at about 64th minute of the match there, it took him about 45 seconds to come off, and he was milking it to the point where the video board operator started showing the clock on the video board, counting down the time of just like, get off the field.
I think my favorite sub last night was Ilya coaching from the sideline for like an extra minute and a half in front of the Minnesota bench while he was slowly making his way. And he just stopped a few times and just started coaching from the sideline. It's great.
Well, I mean, as we've learned all season, those are kind of optional rules anyways.
Like, it was very clear that, like, but this is like what I do appreciate. I don't actually know if I want to give Ilya the credit for this or Nico. It's probably a little bit of both. But like that's the proper level of shithousery that I want my teams to have. Is like they know that they're in a competition where they can do things that are different than they can in the regular run of play, and like that's the difference. Or I don't think a 21 through 24 Austin team would do that kind of stuff. That was different, and like those are the tiny intangibles that like help you get over the edge and get you into a cup final.
Yeah, and I mean we barely won this by the finest of margins, but that's what you got to do, right? Seth, I do want to ask, why are they obsessed with a mediocre song by Oasis, a mediocre band from the 90s, and Wonderwall has already been eclipsed by Ryan Adams with a way better version, so what's the deal?
So what's the deal is that this goes back to their NASL days. So that there was like, it was a popular song among the NASL players that the players would start doing. It's sort of like I Love You Verde sort of came up as like more of a player-led song. This was a player-led song that the Dark Clouds, who were supporting them, or they still are supporting them, started adopting. There's a whole like write-up of this on their website and everything, that they've been doing this for a decade plus, that it was a player-led thing that has become a fan-led thing.
Okay, well, I mean, there are dumber things, but
No, like, but like that's like honestly, like their fans are great. Like, I mean, we hung out with a ton of their fans after the match last night. They were very much united in wanting us to win this. And honestly, if we had lost this match, I'd want them to beat Nashville. I'd want them to win their first cup. They've never been to CONCACAF Champions League before, or Champions Cup now. Like, they're really good folks, and really enjoy working with their fans, their front office, their upstanding organization. And like, I wish we had more teams in MLS like them.
And as you said before we went on the air, it sounds like the Verde Faithful also helped out one of our favorite road bars, if not our favorite road bar in the entire league. So great.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you to Tio Tony and the team for opening up a tab at the Black Cart last night. We had a great time, and the Minnesota fans got to be a little happier. Their Minnesota Lynx came back from 17 down in the second half to go win the WNBA playoff series against Golden State Valkyries. That was a nice win for them. As I think it's like I believe it's the largest comeback in WNBA playoff history. Also, 3-game series are stupid in basketball. It should be at least 5. But congrats to the Lynx.
They're also stupid in soccer.
They are also stupid in many things. They're also stupid in baseball for wild cards. Like, you either play 1, 2, or at least 5 games and things that make sense to do that.
So you guys are being very gracious in victory. I'm not going to do that. We're going to a fucking final, so let's celebrate this a little bit. Which, by the way, I want to go back to, I played the clip of Brad right before we actually started the full episode. And towards the end, he just goes, "Oh my God, we're going to a final." Brad, do you know what that would have even like meant if I played it for you like 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, I knew what that meant. It obviously means more because I've gotten into Austin FC and from the beginning and really follow the sport now, where I would say 6-7 years ago, I was more of the absolute casual of casuals. Right. But yes, I was aware of things like FA Cup, and I knew of US Open Cup. It wasn't something foreign to me, but I think the specialness of it is definitely different now. It's pretty wild. We were in our text thread earlier today between us chatting about like biggest events or games that we've kind of all been in attendance for. And I've seen some big ones that I can tell you that have nicknames that are instantly recognizable. And yet this is going to be one of those top 5, top 6 events that I'll ever get to see for me right now. And it's pretty amazing. I'm stupid excited. I already got tickets. Can't wait. Seth, I assume you're flying down.
I am not flying. It's Yom Kippur. I'd be a horrendous Jew if I'm going to go like do that. If it had been on Tuesday night, I would have been there. If it had been Friday night, I'd still be a bad Jew, but like there's levels of this. Like, I couldn't live with myself doing that. There's levels of that.
Understood.
I'll be in New York with some family, and I will. Yeah. Well, I mean, the match is an earlier start time than I expected. It is which I believe it's kickoff will probably be about 7:15.
Yeah,
7 is announced, but the goal. We will give a Suffering from Joy exclusive here. That we have some info that we got out that we remember we were supposed to do a bunch of fireworks for the July 5th match against LAFC. That did not happen, and I don't know, the club has some fun things in store, and the match 7:15 is sunset, so we'll go from there.
Fuck yeah, excess gunpowder. Texas is fuck. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll just also say the US Open Cup does, as we mentioned earlier with shit housing and other things like this, the US Open Cup does not have MLS restrictions on smoke.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to say there could be some very cool things that can be.
I may have to check my checking account for possible donations to things then.
Yeah.
So don't tell my wife that.
We can also, I will say that everything will be still has to be pre-approved by the club and all that.
Yeah, fuck off, eat shit. All right. Let's get into how we got to this lovely spot. And I mean, Brad, you've been talking about almost, all year. This is the big thing. This is what matters. How did you feel when you saw the lineup?
I actually liked it. If you remember how we played Minnesota in the game up there earlier this year, we did something extremely similar. When Kalmanich started, we kind of played a back five. After we got cooked at home, trying to play more possession based, and Minnesota just counterattacked us to death. That's a team that wants possession. They want the ball. Or does not want possession. They don't want the ball. They want to try to counterattack you. They want you to make the mistake, and then they're going to hit you on a quick shot. So us trying to basically play them into a stalemate and make them uncomfortable, I thought was smart. I love seeing Kalmanich in the game. I thought he's played well all year. And his ability to get balls in the box. We saw the one that was a great chance to Uzuni in the first half that Uzuni probably should have put away. I liked everything about that lineup. The thing that surprised me was when we went 5 at the back, and I know we kind of had to because of who we had on the roster. I wasn't shocked that Cascante started when we saw the 5 in the back. I was surprised that Djordjevic started, being only a second start in the uniform. I figured that would be a very clear Svatak start.
Yeah. Do we know, Seth, do you have any insight if there was an injury or a late,
Svatak had been a little limped up. Remember, he's also just gotten back from going to Azerbaijan the week before that. I was surprised but not stunned to not see him in the starting lineup. And also that lineup, after going to San Jose, I was like, we're going 120. We're going to want Svatak. We need to, I felt better about starting with Djordjevic and bringing on Svatak rather than the other way around. And obviously Jean scored in Minnesota in May, but also bringing on Biru later in the match there. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Okay, CJ sub, that makes sense. We were trying to figure, and also that's a match where you only have 18 guys rather than 20. And it's okay, every field player is going to be used today.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not as used to this in Austin fandom, but cup games are fucking grimy. If you've been watching Champions League, some of these are just absolutely grinded out, greasy ass fucking games. And I think that was really smart to put Kalmanich in as hey, if we need to bang in a set piece here, run this at 1-0 or get to extra time 1-1, great. Same thing with Cascante.
Yeah, and this is also a game where okay, you have both teams playing back fives. You have teams where neither of these teams want the ball. It was just a very funny world of both teams are uncomfortable with how much they were having to pass the ball around midfield because they're this is not how we play.
I felt we looked more comfortable in that possession because we do play a little more possession than Minnesota does on a week-to-week basis.
Yes.
Not out of that formation.
Yes.
But Minnesota, when they had the ball, except for the most part, they looked wildly uncomfortable.
Yes.
I
will say Julio, it was interesting because you had Julio playing the back center back. It is very weird. We're always so used to Julio being such a forward going center back. I think he was put under Julio, if you're going to want to play any minutes again this year, you're going to have to stay the furthest man back, especially with someone that's a fast team. And if Calvin Yaboa doesn't get hurt early in this match, I think it's a very different match. He went down about 10 minutes before he got subbed off. He's a dangerous striker there. And I don't know if our back line would have held for as long if we had to face him.
Is pulling a muscle for flopping maybe the funniest injury in a while that we've seen?
Yeah, it's up there.
I was doing what it's there's 10,000 lakes, but the box isn't one.
Yeah. If you injure yourself flopping, I'm sorry, fuck you, you deserve to lose.
The amount of Minnesota fans I've seen crying for a red card on that are wild to me.
I will say, in U.S. Open Cup tradition, Alexis de Silva was not consistent at all. I think you would have had to use a bulldozer to get a penalty kick call in this match.
Well, let's talk about that because what is it, a minute and a half in, Owen goes over at the top of the box. We never get to see a replay.
We were screaming for VAR. We wanted what's happening.
We never got a replay on TV either.
No,
we got nothing in stadium.
Especially if you look
interesting.
at some of the ones that have been given against us.
Obviously, their goal there wasn't really anything to review on VAR. Like that was fucking gorgeous. Like there's nothing else to say there. But like both of our goals, they did VAR checks. They put on the board there, and like there was about a moment like we're in ecstasy celebrating the winning goal, and it's like, oh my god, was there a handball? Like if that had come back, oh my gosh, I think we would have absolutely lost some PKs.
No, but I mean, we didn't, and we'll kind of get to the winner. But like, Brad, you were watching on TV too. Like, we've had penalties called against us. Pros had to apologize to us twice in the past month. Like, what did you think
on the Owen play?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought at first glance it was a foul.
Yeah.
I thought it was a PK at first glance, and I'd love to see a replay, but of course we still haven't seen that. I mean, granted, now this was not pro refereeing technically because it's U.S. soccer.
No, I mean, but Alexis, no, it is. I mean, Alexis De Silva's a regular MLS ref.
Yeah.
He's a pro official.
Victor Rivas did the other semifinal, by the way.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a PK. Of course, they didn't give it to us, but at the same time, excuse me, maybe that balances out because we got the 2 KKs in San Jose. One of them was extremely clear to me in San Jose. The other one was a little iffy. So maybe that balances out during the course of the cup.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll kind of, hit some high events here, but in general, it seemed like we gave up like a few half chances, but, our game plan seemed to be don't give up anything easy, right? I mean, Robin Lud had a pretty good whack at 5 minutes, and they maybe had one or two that, yeah, if you stick it in the top corner, fine. But I think the way we played was very smart for a cup game. Like, make them beat us. Seth, how'd you see it in the stadium?
This was a game of it was interesting. I look back at this match, and the time I was most nervous during this match was from the second half kickoff till when they equalized, because we are not very good at playing with a lead. And especially, I mean, this is a Minnesota team that banged in 3 goals in 20 minutes Saturday night in San Diego. Like, when they get going, they can get going. And it was just like, I was 100% prepared for them to equalize. And I think the best thing that we did in this match was when they equalized, we were like, okay, that was a beautiful free kick. And we didn't allow them to build up momentum. Because I felt like if they had gotten a second there in the first 5 minutes, we would have just completely unraveled, could have lost 4-5-1. And the fact that we were able to maintain that composure after that goal, we didn't allow them to establish the flow of play of the match. And again, as we said earlier, neither of these teams are really possession-based teams, but it didn't feel it felt like for at least most of extra time, we were on the upper foot, we had the upper hand on this, and we were not necessarily, there was a little bit of, especially early on, that felt like, okay, we're playing for PKs, but it's no, we're going to actually take out some chances. And I do think Stuver's a better goalie than Dane St. Clair, but I'm glad I didn't have to find out firsthand last night.
I think he's a better PK goalie without question.
Yeah, but yes, but I'm also, do you want to test that?
Yeah, do we have as good a PK takers, especially with who was on the field? Who knows?
Nico in his post-game press conference did not say who his lineup would have been, and I think that was the right answer.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Brad, 24 minutes in, should Izuni have scored?
Oh yeah, on the cross from Jean.
Yep,
absolutely.
So I'm going to say
it's not even that he didn't score.
So
Get it on net.
I disagree with that because he was completely off balance. If he was on level footing and got that ball a half second earlier or later, I would have said absolutely. He was completely off balance at that moment.
Well, why is he off balance?
I don't know. He's Mirto Izuni.
Well, there you fucking go.
His job is to stay on balance.
I mean, you're assuming the conclusion here.
Yeah, if you're not going to score from there, you've got to minimum get it on net. But I think if it's on net, it's in the goal. It's in the back. Because St. Clair was not ready for that. It was a beautiful, beautiful cross by Colin.
And I think if you look at his face, he's like, "Fuck, that was another one."
I think Vasquez scored that goal.
I don't know, but you could tell that was kind of like a sag the shoulders. This was maybe our good chance moment. But Seth, did you guys have a good look at the red at all in this, or potential red on Bukari in the stadium?
No, that was the exact opposite end of the stadium from us. So it's the dark corner. We have, I I mean, they didn't really show much on the Jumbotron. They did show a little bit more of the other yellow card on the replay board, but they did not show almost anything of that. I don't know.
Okay, have you seen a replay yet?
I have seen a replay.
What do you think?
I think that was if I were a Minnesota fan, I would be demanding a red card.
I don't think that's unfair. Brad, how about
but
you?
I also think that is a impossible call on a VAR to overturn. That's like an orange card in my book. So when you're an Austin fan, that's a yellow card, and that's a red card when you're a Minnesota fan, and vice versa if the tables were flipped.
I think we got lucky as hell for that not to be a red. There is nothing about it that's a soccer play. It is an intentional kick out going after the opposition's shins or leg or whatever it was without being in the play. You're just standing around. Like, Picardi got lucky that he wasn't thrown out of the game. And somebody needs to sit his ass down before this final and tell him you cannot play that stupidly when it's this much on the line. You do that in May in an MLS match, whatever. Okay, cool. I can live with it. I've seen stupider shit. You could have put us a man down in a 0-0 match in the first half of a semifinal.
On the road.
On the road for doing something stupid. Like, you just, and when you're our best player on the field, you can't do that.
Everything you said, away from the play, not a soccer play, studs out, makes contact. You know, it's not like the most violent thing you'll ever see, but there is some force to it. I'm going to kind of go both ways here, where in my world of refereeing, this is a red card. But I've also seen plenty of other shit that's worse than this that's not given as a red. And I think
every other weekend of the Arsenal match.
Yeah, no shit. Wasn't even going to go there, but for me, what saves Bukhari here is the referee gives a yellow, which means he says him or one of the assistants say they saw it. So essentially what the VAR has to do is say, hey, it has to be a clear and obvious error of something worse than what you or the assistant saw. That's the only way I can rationalize this, because to me, this should be a red. Again, like, there's plenty of stuff that isn't, but, maybe we're saved by precedent or something here that's ever helped Austin in the past. But in my, you show me this in a vacuum, this is a red card for me.
So much about this game felt like we're going to let the players decide this on the field and try to stay out of it as much as humanly possible from the referee crew.
Which is how I think you should referee the game. But
yeah, I agree too. Particularly in cup situations or knockouts. But they let a lot of shit go before you started seeing yellows fly on Danny and other players for Minnesota as well. So I thought this was a game where you pretty much had to pull a shank out and get someone if you were going to get knocked out, if you're going to catch a red, or half the time even a yellow.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, they dodged a few, but I think we're probably on the luckier end here. So we do try to acknowledge that when that happens, but
I mean, obviously we've had some interesting luck with refs this season, but it seems like in MLS play they're against us, in Open Cup play they're for us.
Well,
I'll make that trade. I need one more. I need one more match. I'll make that trade.
Yeah, maybe they're saying, "Well, shit, we should have given you guys a penalty in the second minute, and we fucked that up." But I don't know.
But I also think that it's that he was calling a game that he didn't want to send anyone off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that Danny Pereira played 120 minutes last night, and I forgot the exact minute where he got his yellow, but it was just you know what? That's maturity, because 2022 Danny Pereira, there's no way he makes it 90 in that match.
Oh, he got real close to catching a second.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, there was a great moment in our group chat where you guys were screaming take him off, and then I was like, no, you got to trust your players. Then he kind of takes a little swipe, and I was like, maybe take him off. Let's talk about the goal. Seth, how did it look live?
It was, you could see, first of all, Owen plays Owen Wolf. We haven't really mentioned Owen's name at all in this podcast yet. what a trooper last night. Like the fact that he even made it to 100 minutes. I mean, the comment I made is that Owen got hacked as much as Driussi would get hacked in the last couple seasons. Like, what a sign of respect for a 20-year-old that he was getting hacked at DP, MVP, All-Star level. Like, they were going after him. And, like, he was suffering a little bit from that. I would not be shocked if he doesn't start on Sunday. Like, he was knocked up out there. I mean, he's a Warrior, and I'm sure he will want to start on Sunday because that's who he is. But he lays in a beautiful ball to Bukari. Bukari grows down the side, makes a nice run down there. And as Megs did St. Clair, like it was one of the slowest goals, especially like watching it from the opposite end of the field of like, did that go in? Did that go in? I think that went in. I think that went in. Like
I had the same reaction on TV.
Yeah.
I could not tell if the ball went in until they cut it over to Bukari celebrating.
Yes. And it was just like, hey, we got it. And I was like, there was, I mean, I think they did a VAR check to see for offside, but like Bukari started the run when he was on the same side of the field. You can't call offside on that. So it was, I mean, it was a very cool experience, just like, and especially getting right, because there was +3 for that half. And we ended up playing close to 5 minutes because there was also a stoppage of play before the goal. Like, just getting that, I was like, okay, going into half 0-0. Okay, good. Going into half 1, like, you probably couldn't hear it on the broadcast, but we didn't even like leave the section until like 3 minutes after half because we did Felice after the goal. And there's like, everyone was so happy that like Ilie comes over at the, like before like running to the locker room and just like keeps like raising the volume, get louder. It's like, you don't see that at home matches, much less road matches.
The magic of the cup.
Yeah, and I will say one thing that they do at Allianz I've never seen done anywhere else, and maybe they do it elsewhere, but for every single one of the Wonderwall chants, like I could, unless we stopped playing, that we couldn't really hear them at all. But like they have a sideboard that has the lyrics to all of their chants that you could see in the stadium. So like I could see like what they're trying to say and can't hear a thing of it, and it was just like, that's pretty funny to see. But like I do appreciate that they try to get the crowd involved outside of the section, and like when they have the corner kicks and the scarves, like that was the only moment where I was like, oh, there's another crowd here. This is nice. Sorry, I went all over the place there.
No, it's fine. You're there for the in-game experience and to relay it to us who couldn't quite make it up there. But I mean, this is what I want him to do more of. Get in behind and actually fucking shoot the ball. Laser it, buy a lottery ticket. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it won't. You know, we try to do these little like layoffs and like backdoor plays, and you know, sometimes they come off, but like, you know, you're our best player. Shoot the fucking ball. It's kind of.
I mean, he was close to a hat trick at one point last night.
Yep.
I mean, the goal, you could score the prettiest goal or the ugliest goal in the world. They all count the same.
We don't ask how, we ask how many.
Yeah.
Old tautology. But yeah, I mean, right before halftime, and like you, I'm a little surprised they didn't blow the whistle earlier, but not complaining.
About 45 seconds of dead play in that 3 minutes. So like they were going to let him finish that run. We still had within 3 minutes there of real game time.
Yeah, I don't think it was like egregious or anything. I was just, you know, a little surprised.
Yeah.
Nice release ball though, and you know, run behind, kick the ball in the fucking net.
Yeah.
It's nice simple game, right?
Yeah.
Slightly less simple game. Let's talk about their goal. I know a lot of people made
foul.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just to say like a beautiful free kick for Pereira. Like you got to give him a ton of credit on that. Like that was a perfectly placed ball. Stuver was caught a little flat-footed, but like we should not have been in that position. We gave away a needless, unnecessary foul that directly led to the goal.
I was gonna say I actually back up even before that. We talked about Bukari on the first goal. He almost had a hat trick. He nearly had a second goal to put us up 2-0. And if he buries that chance, the game's over.
I don't think the game is over with a 2-0 lead against a team that can counterattack as well as Minnesota.
Is this the cross from Zan?
No, this is the I was thinking the long ball. Was it the long ball over the top from Owen that he pulled down on one touch? Or was that later in the game?
That's later in the game.
Okay, so then yeah, it's the cross from Zan then. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he could have done better with that one. And also, St. Clair was in the right position.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the issue on this is Uzuni makes the wrong run. Uzuni pulls back, and what he should do is push forward and make the defenders challenge him.
Yeah.
And let Bukari come and crash behind. But, I mean, whatever. It was a decent ball in, and he took a stab at it. Yeah, but I saw a lot of, especially in the announcers, talking about this foul on Pereira like it's a clear and obvious second yellow, and I don't think this is ever a yellow card foul, even if you're not on a yellow. Like, it's just a simple trip. There's nothing malicious in it. He's not stopping anything. Like, he just goes for the ball and kind of misses it. I guess there was like a shot of the ref looking like he was reaching for his pocket, which doesn't mean anything if you know anything about refs, but I don't know what your guys' opinions were on whether Danny should have been given his marching orders or not.
It was a foul. It's just a foul. I didn't see more into it.
If he didn't have a yellow card, it would have been a yellow card, but you don't give a second yellow on that.
See, I disagree with that. I don't think it's a yellow either way, but I mean, whatever. We're not going to complain about it. Seth, you didn't get treated to this, but on the broadcast, Tony Miola spent like 5 fucking minutes bitching about the wall in this, and I was like, okay, well, maybe, like, I think Uzuni jumps awkwardly and maybe could have headed it, but it's not like the wall was in like the worst position ever, or we just like left a wide open alley. That's just a hell of a free kick, right?
I mean, yes, we are not the tallest of teams. I don't even know if we had our tallest guys on that wall, to be frank. Now I have to like think about who's actually on that wall. But there's like, I think there are little things we could have done, but it's also not surprising that a goalie would blame a wall rather than a goalie action, because that's sort of the nature of goalies there. If you don't want to screw up, the wall screwed it up there. So I'm not surprised that he went on a 5-minute rant about that.
Yeah. It was just really fucking annoying instead of being like, yeah, that was a hell of a free kick.
Do we think Brad thought that was going wide? Because that's what it felt like to me.
Yep, I do.
Yeah. Also, because like Minnesota had a bunch of pretty good opportunities in this match, so they just completely missed the frame on, and I think that was sort of in Brad's head at that point.
Yeah, the way he reacts, especially if you look at the like from behind camera, it looks like he thinks it's going, and I don't know if he saves it either way, but he definitely looks like, hey, I shouldn't even bother.
Yeah, and then like he sort of gets caught flat-footed there. I mean, he's human; he makes mistakes. But even if he's in a perfect position, I could see him getting a hand on that ball, and that ball still going in. It was well taken care of.
Yeah, and if you look at the bend on it from one of the angles, it literally like goes from outside the post to inside the post across like 3 or 4 inches in about half a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mad at the foul. I'm not mad at the free kick. Like that was gorgeous.
Yeah. That's one of those, like, you put that in, fine, fair enough for me. We talked a little bit about Danny avoiding yellows. I actually thought he did a really, 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 really good job. And Seth, you called it mature. I think that's the right word here. Dessler came off fairly early. Is this an injury? He's getting back up to fitness thing?
Yeah, this is an injury getting back up to fitness. He also looked a little sluggish out there in the second half. I had no problem with that sub.
Any other kind of general sub thoughts?
It was interesting that we did not make our second and third subs until after the 80th minute. I think I would have made them a little earlier. Like the fact that Ilya went over 80 minutes last night surprised me. There's also an interesting choice to not have Dubasarski, to bring in, to roster Samovic over Dubasarski. I'm not quite sure why Nico made that move. I mean, Samovic was fine, but like that's not the move I would have made with that 18.
I actually thought Samovic was significantly better than he has been lately.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he didn't do anything wrong there makes him significantly better than he's been in past matches. So you know what? Hey, player rises to the moment. I got no issue.
Yeah, the sub better. I'm with you. I thought sub should have been earlier. I didn't like waiting as long as we did to really kick him in. He scored the match winner. I thought CJ came on way too late in the match. I would have brought him in the 75th or something like that to try to affect something towards the end of the 90, as opposed to just getting into extra time and using him. He's young enough to where even if he's playing 40 minutes, he can probably run pretty fast for 40, 45 minutes against tired legs. As young as he is and as little as we've had him play this year. Otherwise, I felt pretty good about what we did last night sub-wise.
Yeah,
like, how we implemented them and where they went in the sub pattern made sense to me. I also think if you bring on CJ when they make the Rubio sub earlier, you can bring Owen off a few minutes earlier, and Rubio plays that Owen spot, and you just keep CJ out on the wing, where they ended up kind of inverting to when CJ came onto the field.
Yeah, and I think they were like, Owen, just go as much as you can. And he was like, guys, I'm totally shattered. Like, I should have come off 10 minutes ago. But they wanted to, kind of trust him like they were Danny a little bit.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, Owen is what, like, he did not want to leave that. Did not want to leave that match.
No, and you could tell, though, he was done. It wasn't like lack of will or anything. It was just
I was pointing against like, how is he coming out back for extra time? Like, he was down in stoppage time of the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I want to talk about Brad, you kind of mentioned it, this ball over the top where we have a great chance, and I think Dane St. Clair makes a fantastic save on Bukhari in the 78th, 79th minute, something like that. I'm going to preemptively call that as my moment of suffering because I was like, oh, fuck, that was the game. That was our chance to win. We're fucking fucked. Fuck.
Yeah, and credit Bukhari for bringing that ball down because that was not the easiest ball to get and settle. I'm with you. I thought St. Clair made a fantastic save to stop it, but it was a beautiful ball over the top from Owen especially, and just a really nice 1-2 connective play. I think the other thing you have to look at was just a few minutes later, Julio Cascante turning back Father Time to just as importantly as St. Clair's save, stopping a counter that probably goes the other way and against us for the game winner in the 90 if he doesn't make the play he did.
I am shocked his hamstring didn't explode. Just watching that.
I mean, I'm claiming Julio is definitely my stock rising of this match. Like, the fact that he went 120, played as well as he did, having that defense, like, you know what? Occasionally players rise to the moment. And
like, really, even if he's not like directly at fault for a goal or something, I'm kind of like, well, there are these issues. No notes. Perfect. Nothing he did wrong. So it was nice. And I love, especially in cup competitions, when you see a guy who's like kind of on the fringe of the team, they just give like absolute, complete all performance, and they're hugely important to a win. So I was really happy to see Julio put in a great shift.
But you usually see that earlier in a cup competition than you do in the semis, though. It's at least that's the way I've always tracked it. So.
Well, he was suspended for a game earlier in the competition, so
that's true.
Kind of all hell breaks loose in the last 5-ish minutes. We have a decent chance, and then they have a breakaway, and I think everybody on TV thinks they're offside, even though they aren't. And Stuver makes a fantastic save, so we don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Seth, how did that go over in the stadium?
It was very much of the, like, by about minute 112, 113, we were all just like, okay, who's going to be taking penalties? Like, we're still being loud and everything, but it was just like, okay, we'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth. Like, that, like, there was just this, like, okay, we're going to penalties. We have Brad Stuver. It'll probably be okay, but, like, let's try to win this beforehand.
Yeah, I think we got to like 110 or 112, and I was like mentally checking my watch, and I was like, how is only 10 seconds gone by?
But like when you're in the stadium, especially like with the band right behind me, I was second, third row of the section. Like you get to a point there where it's just like you just sort of start vibing, and you're just like the clock just sort of go. It's far less nerve wracking being in stadium for those type of games than it is watching it on TV. Because you can let out whatever scream you want, you can get out to whatever point, and it's just like, okay, everyone is doing this, and it's just like the time didn't feel that slow. The time again, I was saying earlier, like I wasn't even that nervous during that point. I was way more nervous at the beginning of the second half because I knew we were going to concede.
Yeah, I think the other thing when you're in stadium is you can see what's going on the field or, on the sideline. We get like a shot of somebody kind of wandering around looking exhausted on TV. And you don't exactly have the full feeling. Brad, how about you?
I mean, Stuber makes those saves consistently, which is it's so in a way sad to have to say like, yeah, that's almost something you expect out of him. I think if you look at, it's nice that he didn't have to do nearly as much work last night as we've had him do in this tournament, specifically looking at that San Jose game. But he stepped up when we needed him to in the key spot. And Brad Stuber's done that over and over and over and over again in 5 years of this club. So.
Why would we expect anything different?
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, at that point, we're like, holy shit, this is a huge thing. But CJ steals the show. So, Seth, I want you to walk us through how you see this, and then I'm going to have Brad do the same thing. Kind of the in-stadium, then the TV angle.
Yeah, so we get down. We are like, okay, we're in midfield. We get a ball down the side to Gallagher. Gallagher crosses it in. You get to a world of like, oh my gosh, is Izuni gonna be the hero here? Wait a minute, it's Berto Izuni. I don't have much faith in this, sadly. And what just happened in other sports right now?
Oh, somebody just got their head taken off. Sorry. Big hit.
I was going to say, I'm not watching the football game, but the Reds did just one hit the Cubs today, which is awesome. Keep the slight playoff hopes alive of, do I go to Milwaukee next weekend to watch any Reds games or not? But getting back to way more exciting stuff that happened at Allianz Field in St. Paul last night, is that we you get to the moment there where like Izuni looks like he flubs it. I mean, he gets the shot on target there. St. Clair makes a save, but doesn't actually push it out. And it's like, oh, CJ's there. And like, it happened so fast that it's like, holy like, it was just like one of those moments of just like, oh, wait a minute. Did I just see what I just saw there? Like, it is like, you just like, it is I believe only the second time I can think of in Austin FC history where a player has removed their kit upon scoring. And you're like, that is the fastest yellow card that you will take in 1 second of just like, oh my God, we just fucking did it. Like, it was just like those are the moments you dream about. You're just like, I can't believe this actually just happened right in front of my face.
So it's funny to me that you said that happened quick to you. Because to me, it happened in slow motion. Watching.
No, it felt like it felt bang bang in the stadium, but like I feel like that's the difference of being in stadium versus it did not feel slow at all.
Yeah. So first of all, Nico Estevez called it out correctly. Tip of the cap at the start of the play to Diego Rubio. The ball he sent diagonally to Gallagher to get that ball into space was well done. Gallagher's cross was not bad, and I saw people online giving shit to Izuni last night. Yes, he wasn't fantastic. That header directly led to the goal. That header was so good. Dane St. Clair's only option was to get a hand on it and throw it back out into the middle out of desperation. He couldn't tip it over. He couldn't grab it. He had no other choice if he wanted to keep it out of the goal. And that's what allowed CJ to get his foot on it. Credit CJ for being in the right spot, number one. Thank you, 5 defenders for Minnesota for not fucking paying attention. Appreciate you there. CJ being quick on the ball, but it felt like that sequence from Uzuni header to CJ ball back of the net lasted like 20 seconds, when in real time it was maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, it felt like 0.5 seconds in stadium.
Yeah, it was very kind of both for me. Because you're like, holy shit, we survived that breakaway. Like, let's just get to fucking penalties. And then you couldn't really see it on TV, but like clearly their left back falls asleep and Rubio spots it and Gallagher spots it. And, you know, Gallagher's had not his greatest season, but he takes the ball down, puts it in the middle. I think this is a very underrated header from Izuni. Like you said, some people are, you know, ragging on him for not scoring. He hits it in the ground. It goes down and it goes up. And like you said, the only thing, like, this is a great save from Dane St. Clair. This is not like, oh, you know, like a simple one-off. Like, he does a great job to keep this out of the net in the first place.
8 times out of 10, that's a goal.
Yeah, and his bounce back to come up on CJ, who's the first to react to, is also incredible. And I didn't notice this until I was watching the Alistair McAllister replay this morning. CJ 5-holes him when he puts it in the net. Like if CJ isn't like 6'4" or whatever, if he's 5'10", he doesn't get his foot over the ball and put it on the ground under his legs again.
I mean, the fact that he had that on both goals, getting
Yep.
beat between your feet from such an elite goalkeeper is still wild to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the second one.
The second one's not his fault. The first one, yeah.
The first one, but even the first one is not really his fault. Like that is like that's like okay if you can do it, congrats.
Yeah, the
like,
first one's make yourself big.
Part of being a goalie is that you want to make yourself big, and you do expose yourself to that at points. But like, okay, it happens.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a thing, and you'll see it in other sports too, where if you shoot like not in between the goalie's legs, but like next to the goalie's foot, it's actually harder to save than if you're like a foot away, a foot further away from it. But like, I've watched this back about 15 times already, and the composure CJ has to actually put this in the net the way he does is fucking amazing. And I'm sure he had no time to think of it. He's the first to react. He's a sub recently on, and full credit to him. This is what, a guy maturing and coming into the league looks like. And it was great to watch him celebrate too, because Gallagher's like, no, you have to celebrate. And CJ is just sort of like running around like, I don't know what to do. Like almost.
If you saw CJ's Insta story, CJ pointed a middle finger at Gallagher and like with a bunch of laughing emojis right afterwards. Just like, I mean, CJ said he pretty much blacked out right when he scored that goal. Like he had no clue what was going on. He's just like just goes. But like there is something about being a natural goal scorer, and I mean Azudi is as well. Like you're just like, you know what? Sometimes they'll just find a way, and hell, it worked.
This is what this podcast has been praying for. To get CJ on the field for months now. Months. And this is the reason why. And I know people say, well, it's a tap-in goal. It's not that it's a tap-in goal. It's that he's consistently in the right position to give himself a chance to score. Well, even earlier in the year.
He almost has 2 goals before this.
Exactly. And even earlier in the year, when he wasn't scoring unlimited minutes, and when I say limited minutes, this guy was getting 6-7 minutes a run out when you get a shot. He still was in good positions to score or to help kill off a game. Like he was consistently doing the right things. Tell me the last time Hot Air Obrian was in a position like that in a key moment. I don't remember.
I mean, I'm sure he did have 8 goal contributions last year. I'm sure he was at some points, but I can't.
But that's a guy who's got 10x the minutes of CJ this year, something like that, 8x, something of that nature.
Yeah,
hasn't happened. So, and I'll give you something that's going to scare you. It's a preview of my stock down. It's our money management as a roster. Hot Air Obrian and Robert Taylor. Taylor didn't even make the 18 last night. What's their combined salary?
I'll just say that it is over $1 million.
Yeah.
And that there is going to be the only way we have new signings is going to be some cuts. And I mean,
good.
Yeah. So Roto was talking about this with some fans on Tuesday night that like there is not that much salary space if we re-sign everyone. We don't get new players without players going out.
Yeah, well, I can name at least one, if not 2, that'll open up $1.1 million of salary right now.
Yeah. And we have 2 buyouts, and one of them doesn't even require a buyout.
Yeah, and it's probably safe to say Cascante is not here next year.
Yeah. Yes.
Those 3 guys alone.
Like Julio has done a lot of amazing things for this club, including last night. And I still think like he is a valuable player that I want on this roster at the end of this season. Absolutely. I am also perfectly fine if he is not in January camp.
But those 3 guys alone, if those 3 guys are not here, that's $2 million of salary you've now opened up to go do whatever you want. Point being, though, that's $1.1 million on those 2 wingers versus CJ's $100,000 salary. Like, there is value to be had, not only with guys that we have in our academy or FCDO or whatever moving up in the draft, but in this league. And we should be getting more out of those spots. CJ Fodre has earned minutes. He earned them for 2+ years playing for the second team and being head and shoulders above anybody else on that roster for 2 years. He has earned more chances. I know Nico sees him potentially as a striker. Listen, I see it, but at the same time, he's better for us as a winger. He's fast down the sides. He complements Obrian he complements Bukhari very, very well down the left with Bukhari on the right and offers us height and size when crashing the box that nobody else in this roster really does except for Brandon Vasquez, and Vasquez is not here right now.
Can I ask you guys a hypothetical?
Go for it.
Let's say CJ pulls his hamstring in practice tomorrow, and we get a good offer and get, some decent money for him in the offseason, but we go on to win US Open Cup. Is CJ a club legend for that goal?
I mean, CJ is already right now that's the most signature goal in club history at this point.
Yeah, it's that or literally the opener. The first, I think there's 3 signature quote goals that we've had so far. It's the Diego Fagundes first ever goal. It's the John Gallagher first home goal, and there's CJ.
I would say Driussi's winner against that crazy Sporting KC game in 22, the other game where we have a shirt removal. I think I would put that in that same category because that game was freaking insane.
Well, he also had the one against San Jose last year too, at the death. Like, there's a couple like that I think we won at the death like that, but those are regular season MLS matches.
Yes,
right. Those aren't the Fagundes goal and the Gallagher goal are balls that are going to be in our eventual Hall of Fame, whatever we build for Austin FC, right?
Yeah.
Or in our whatever. This is a ball that would go alongside those, I think, because, or at least this leads you to a trophy. The other 2 just were regular season matches.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I was just thinking, down the line, what could happen. Brad, I also want to take you back. Do you remember when we went to the first U.S. Open Cup match against El Paso Locomotive, and we were down 2-0, and you and I were just sitting there laughing, going, fuck it, we might as well just get knocked out of this competition now.
Yep. Yeah. And then with El Paso fans sitting right behind us talking all the shit. Yes, I vividly remember this. It's interesting with this competition how it's gone this year, because also at that match at halftime, the loudest boos I have ever heard in that stadium directed at our team. And then they came out in the second half and played like shit, honestly, for about 15 or 20 minutes. And it took to the 72nd minute to finally wake up in that 7-minute stretch. But yes, this has been we played one normal game in this cup run. One.
Houston.
The Houston game. Everything else has been really, really wild, which is perfect. It's Open Cup. That's what it should be
for this tournament.
Exactly.
Magic of the cup.
I'm not watching this cup for sanity.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, I do not expect a normal final whatsoever.
Which I'm also excited because if we win, when we win, we get the prettier trophy. I'm sorry, but it's a much better looking trophy than MLS Cup.
Like a much more historic trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one game left in the season.
I was also really, really happy with Nico last night in the post-game press conference because he values this competition. He said something to the effect of, listen, in other countries, this is the tournament that's like the second biggest trophy that you can win domestically.
And it is in this one too, but
and it is in ours too.
It isn't.
So he's like, there should be value on this tournament. There should be something that you want to go get. So I'm super happy that Nico is appreciative of the tournament. I'm a firm believer. Anytime you're in this thing, you should try to go for it because it's the path of least resistance to a major trophy. If you get knocked out in May, all right, cool. Just focus on the league for the next however many months, right? You don't have to worry about a push to the playoff in May, especially with the way that MLS is built, where, I hate to say it, not every game really matters as much as the other. Yep. You don't have to be perfect in MLS to give yourself a chance at a championship later in the year. You just got to get hot towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have to recognize that only 16 of the 27 United States-based MLS teams got to compete in this tournament. LAFC won this tournament last year and didn't even get a chance to defend their title. Like, we don't know what the rules of entry are going to be for next year, but it is my sincere hope that all 27 US-based MLS teams will find a way to play in this tournament next year. Yes, that is a tiny asterisk on this, but you know what? All 4 of these teams that are in these semifinals are going to be playoff teams. These are all good teams. That this is not like this is not 2013 DC United in this tournament.
You can only beat who's in front of you.
You know what?
We didn't
Nashville's a really good team. I mean, Sam Surridge is the Golden Boot leader of the league. They still have Hadi Mukhtar. That is that's gonna be a very tough game in the final.
We're gonna have to win 3 straight games to win this cup. That we're arguably the underdog in every game.
Yeah.
At San Jose, at Minnesota, and then home for Nashville. I think being home makes it a little more of a toss-up, but
like we've played just as well
beaten
the season at home. Like our form at home this season has not been great.
It's a lot of draws. We don't lose much at home. We have a lot of draws.
Which is fine for this. And as I pull up Nashville's record, I will say that Nashville has 33 points at home this season. It's 17 away.
Now, here's the fun question. How happy is U.S. Soccer that 2 coaches from the Greg Berhalter U.S. coaching tree are the finalists for this match?
Yes. You know what? Another secondary stock rising is that the U.S. Soccer Federation got the flags right of the countries that they were promoting last night for the games, unlike in San Jose, where they mixed up the Korean and Japanese flags.
Well, they can't
low bars of expectation there.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to hit on about the game before we jump into the format?
I mean, it took me several hours to go to sleep last night, but it was awesome. I was wired. I'm ecstatic for the final. We'll talk more about final when it comes closer. I know we got a pod or 2 before then, but I think my thing is, no matter who you are out there, yes, we all want to win the final. Yes. Appreciate what this team has accomplished now. Right now, we are hosting a championship match at Q2 Stadium. I don't know at the beginning of the year any of us thought this was going to happen. I thought if we made a run to like the Elite 8 or the final 8, maybe a semi, that'd be great run to the Open Cup. We now have a chance to hoist a trophy. Appreciate this for what it is. Be ecstatic about it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's okay. But I'd rather win the damn thing.
But like a cup final at Q2, I'll be very curious. I'm sure the supporter section will be rocking its own. And I will say last night the Wonderwall was completely full. Like the fans get it. It's a question of, does your average person who's getting billed an extra $70, which in Minnesota they did not have the opt out. They had to separately buy tickets rather than ours as an opt out. So I think it will be close to. It will be a sell. It will be of course 20,000.
Already seeing reports of people asking if they can get back into LV just to have access to.
But like that's different. But like
right. For this
LV
one match
is super hype. That's not the question.
No. This is
what
like
I'm saying there.
People trying to be able to do it to get access to
tickets.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's for it to be a chance to get into the game itself. I had luckily put out a feeler to some folks, and a friend of the show, Dallas, helped me out with getting tickets for myself and a friend, my buddy, and my lovely wife to attend the match. But screenshots are being posted today of availability on the presale, and there was not a ton of availability on the presale out there.
Good.
I mean, I have decent seats, and I'm not complaining about $62 each.
Yeah, $62 for a final that you can drive to in 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I paid. So yours.
It's like $25 with walking to the stadium, Seth. Come on.
Yeah, I think because you're a season ticket holder, it's cheaper. But for me, I mean, even still, I'm second row, just outside the 18, on the south end, and second row upper level, and I think I paid $75 a piece or something like that today, after fees. Like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I might have 2 tickets available. I'll find out tonight. But if people who are listeners who have gotten an hour into the podcast are interested in potentially tickets available, you know how to find me if you're listening this deep into the podcast.
Audience, if you're listening this far, I would tell you to ping Seth because I know you might be looking.
To be fair, he's probably going to be the first one to listen to this episode after I publish it. So, alrighty, here we go. So we're going to go to format, and I'm going to change the rules, because you get a 121st minute goal to send you to a home Cup final, there are no stocks falling. Everybody gets 2 stock risings. We're still going to do moments of suffering, but 2 stock risings. We'll do a round. We'll do a second round. Seth, who is your first stock rising?
I already said that Julio Cascante was my first stock rising for this because going 120, being consistent, playing the back, really, like we sort of did a little bit of a triangle at the back there. The fact that he held it down, and after not playing very many minutes, I mean, he did play for the national team for Costa Rica last week, but like I didn't know if he was going to be in 120-minute game shape. He was fantastic last night.
Yeah, I kind of want to expand that to just the entire back three, because it's not like they played in a back three together before. Very impressive. Brad, how about you?
Diego Rubio. I thought he was very, very good in sub. Came on, added some energy when we needed him, and some. Seth, you mentioned he won a little bit of shithousery. He brings that little bit of edge, especially after some older leaders left the pitch, and we already talked about it. But the pass to set up the game winner, that was a great ball across to Gallagher.
I'm going to take Danny Pereira because he played nearly the entire game on a yellow card, didn't get sent off, was very effective, was probably our best midfielder. I know Owen ran out of gas, and he was kind of coming in and out of midfield, playing on the wing at the same time. Ilie was very good, but like that entire midfield, Danny bossed that game. And, defensively, offensively, he pushed the ball forward. Especially on kind of a war of attrition game. Anybody who can take you from kind of the defensive third into the offensive third is invaluable like that. So he's going to be my first one. Brad, you want to go too?
Give me the goal scorer. Give me CJ. We've been preaching his name for months here. He's always in the right position. You mentioned it's a tougher finish than it looks, although, you'd expect somebody to get that on frame. But for me, it's more not even that he scored. It's just he's always in a good spot to affect the game. And he showed that again last night, and that's what leads to goals. It's 2 games now in those last 3, his last 2 games that he's gotten into, been able to score game winners, and none bigger than last night in our club history.
Yeah, Seth?
It's very weird to do this, but I'm gonna give a shout out to ourselves as Austin FC fans. But it's oftentimes on the road, even with instruments, we had some drums in San Diego, and the vibes were not good. Even when it was 0-0 in the match, we had 3 people who were denied entry to the stadium because of over intoxication. We had the vibes last night were fucking fantastic beforehand. If you haven't been over to Malcolm Yards in Minnesota, first of all, Minneapolis, St. Paul, great cities, very easy to navigate. We did our pregame over at Malcolm Yards, which is this really cool food hall where there's 8 or 9 stands, and you get a card, and they have a draft beer wall of 30 plus draft beers, and it was happy hour till 5 o'clock, so you could get really good draft beer pullers for under $5. Also, shout out to Minnesota FC for having 3 legitimate craft beer options at every concession stand that was advertised on the signboards that you could probably see on TV at the match as well. But we had people from obviously Los Verdes, La Murga, Anthem, people unaffiliated, people who I had never met before this match, people who I've seen for years and years. And the section sounded great in section. People that have normally fought among each other were on best behavior last night. Obviously winning helps, but even if we had lost, the vibes were immaculate. And that doesn't always happen as someone who's been involved, especially when you get away days of over 100 people. Usually something crazy will go up. I talked to security last night at the end of the match, and they're like, yeah, we had a few complaints about noise, but we have no issues to report on you guys. Hell, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, Seth taking the Time magazine, picking you as the person of the year approach. Great time. I'm going to give a shout out. So I'm going to 1B here and say I thought, he should have scored and at least once, but I thought Uzuni actually had a very good game, and we kind of ragged on him a little bit, but I wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out. My actual second one is the Austin FC social media admin for tweeting the CJ sunglasses photo as soon as the game ended.
We're going to do a tiny bit of stock falling here. San Diego FC put out an amazing tweet of shirtless CJ, but deleted the tweet in the last few hours. I don't know, after CJ retweeted it or other people, because Minnesota during the match on both Twitter and Blue Sky put out a retweet. If you're scared of San Diego after they had the guy who scored their midfield goal against them, and San Diego replying back with CJ, a San Diego native, scoring the winning goal. That was just perfect. I don't know why their admin deleted it, but their admin should have kept that up.
Internet's forever. Somebody has it.
We have it. That is not an issue.
I screenshotted it last night. It's there.
Yeah, we got it. No worries. I kind of already hinted at my moment of suffering. It's the Bukovist chance in the 80th-ish minute. Seth, how about you?
I would say it was the I'm trying to think. Like, it was probably Danny's yellow card of like, oh shit, we're not going to get through this match with 11 men. We're not going to get through this. And I love that I was proven wrong, but like my stomach definitely dropped like 3 knocks. So I saw, oh, it's on Danny. Damn it.
Yeah, I think all of us were a little worried.
I did have a slight stock falling I wanted to hit on.
Fine.
Sorry, it's a fun one. Barcode kits. 2 years, no playoff, no final, nothing. Original kits, 1 playoff run to the semifinal or to the Western Conference final. New kits, run to the Open Cup final, plus we're going to be in the playoff. I'm just saying, those things were fucking cursed, and I called it from the beginning. You dress ugly, you play ugly.
Yeah. Brad, I don't know if you're familiar with this. Every year, Arsenal does the no knife crime kit, and they dress in nothing but white. So we have the mantra, dress like Tottenham, play like Tottenham. So it's very much out of that realm. But yeah, I fucking hated those kits, so I'm glad to never see them again.
Hey, as someone who actually won money on Tottenham this week, I appreciate it. I have a weird appreciation for the chicken.
The most match fixie goal I've ever fucking seen in my life.
As far as moment of suffering goes, it was late in the normal time because I was begging for a sub in the 70th minute. I thought we needed fresher legs out there. I was pretty convinced Minnesota was going to find a second goal because they were making moves and we weren't. And it didn't end up burning us, but that was, for me, I was stressing for 5-10 minutes till we finally started making some changes.
Yeah, we looked outlegged for a lot of the kind of late stages of the games. I don't know. Anything else we need to cover? I don't think we need to jump into a preview because we're still in like emotional come down shock, whatever you want to call it.
RSL lost last night. That cut their magic number there. Yeah.
The only thing I want to say about the Seattle game this week, the lineup is going to be weird. We just played 120 minutes of a cup match. If there's ever a time for Jader Obrian and Robert Taylor to start, it's this week. If there's ever a time for Irvin Torres to start, it is this week.
Also, we didn't actually stock falling for Roto for not signing Irvin Torres before Friday.
I will tell you now, and I have tickets to the game Sunday. I plan to be there. I do not give a shit about the result this Sunday, and neither should you. This team is going to be in the playoffs. It's fine. As of right now, until midnight on October 1st, this is a 1-game season. And everything this team does should be focused on the game on October 1st. Anything else is a loss of focus in my mind. Be okay with that, Austin fans.
No disagreement here.
We are a very pro Open Cup Uberales podcast.
Well, and this is what kind of annoys me. I'm not going to try to like put a huge damper on what's been a fun show and a fun evening, but some of those points we dropped in August, this is where I'm kind of like, well, fuck, if we had racked up those easy ones, we don't have to worry about the playoffs. And we still really don't, but don't know.
Yeah, I'm really not worried about us making a playoffs. I mean, we are 6 clear of San Jose, who's in 9th right now with a game in hand.
I mean, we do it. I am a little worried about us clearing the play-in game.
Yeah, well, Colorado's
we do have to get some points the next 2. We have St. Louis at home. which St. Louis is actually looking a little better at the moment. We still have to go to San Jose. Like, it's not a tough, like, our toughest game here is the one that we actually, I mean, LAFC, but LAFC will not have Sun. They won't have Boanga for that match. So, like, that's not playoff LAFC, because LAFC right now, ooh, I think I know what the standings say, but like a full strength LAFC is MLS Cup favorites right now. That team is on fire.
And I think we'll give it a decent go at Salt Lake for at least 50 or 60 minutes before we really think about how we're going to manage the roster and get ready for Wednesday. But I'm still with the opinion. I'm really not worried about this team finding their way into the playoff. I actually think we're probably not coming away with at least a point on Sunday. This feels like the kind of game where we're just going to play extremely defensive and maybe try to sneak a 0-0 draw.
Also, Seattle has a brutal travel schedule. So Seattle played in Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday night. They slept in South Florida rather than fly back after the match. They flew back to Seattle on Wednesday and then are flying to Austin on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we flew back right after the match. I don't know if this has come across your socials, but there were about 25 people on the Minneapolis to Austin Southwest Direct tonight, and they recreated the plane team photo on a Southwest flight, which is pretty amazing.
I haven't seen that. That's fantastic.
That was the flight I was scheduled to come home on, so that would have been fun if I could have made it last minute. But that's funny to me. Yeah, I know the team got back late last night. If you want to come and hang out tomorrow, or I guess when you're listening to this, it would be on tonight, would be Friday the 19th. And I don't know, congratulate Brad Stuver and give him some encouraging words. We do have the Bobby Jones Chiari fundraiser happening Friday night, 6:30 to 8:30 on the 19th from Hop Squad. Gonna do a cornhole tournament, which we're already pretty much booked up on, but there's a bunch of really cool raffle prizes as well. Including like signed team ball, signed Stuber stuff, a full video game arcade that features Fast and Furious, and a bunch of other stuff as well. So come on out. And it's also, we're doing a Verde, since it's Friday night in the fall, we're calling it Verde Homecoming. So dress in your homecoming, whatever that means to you, in Verde style. But come out and hang out, have a few beers, and give Brad a pat on the back. Not me, Brad Stuber, the one who actually does stuff that's important. But give him a pat on the back and some encouraging words to bring this cup home.
Yeah, for me, homecoming unfortunately means I need to leave Columbia, Missouri for the weekend, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah, show up. It's a lot of fun. I've gone the past couple of years. Last year I won Stuver signed gloves, so throw $5 in on a raffle or whatever it is, and you can win some cool stuff. Maybe we'll enter Seth in something and mail him something. Who knows?
Seth, you're on mute.
Yeah, I say if we make a deep enough playoff run, I'll come and pick it up in person. I'm just
we'll put you in for the full size video arcade, and then we'll mail it to you that way.
Yeah, Devil look at me like, what'd you get?
Don't worry about it. Oh no, that was always there.
Yeah. Also, congratulations tonight to Vancouver, not to the Whitecaps, but to Vancouver FC, the last place team in the Canadian Premier League. Only lost to Atletico Ottawa 1-0, which means they're going to the Canadian Championship final, which will be right after the US Open Cup final. So they're going to have a Vancouver derby for the other CCC spot that will be up on October 1st.
Very cool.
A match will be at BC Place, not at Swangarden. As fun as that would be to play like an Open Cup final on the road for the Whitecaps, they're going to play it down at BC Place.
Boo.
Yeah.
No fun, those Canadians.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope if we make CCC, we do not draw an MLS team in the first round or Vancouver. Let's go draw, I don't know, some fun place that is not Haiti/the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I would love a little away action to Costa Rica or something. That sounds great.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, that would, do an Alaquense away, but we'd have to leave in the 85th minute like the LAFC fans there a couple of years ago.
I don't care who we draw. I'm going to go to St. Lucia. I'll watch the game from there. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Anybody's welcome to come. We could also go to like St. Kitts or Nevis or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, actually, we should go look at that right now. Let's pull this up. How is the Caribbean Cup coming along right now.
Let me talk to Carrie about this because that's going to be right after or right around our anniversary. So maybe I could just make this a trip.
There you go.
Right now, if we look at how this is coming together here, so we've played 2 matches of the Caribbean teams. So right now, the teams that are moving furthest ahead in this tournament are O&M, which is from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, Mount Pleasant from Jamaica, Chabal, which is the stadium that we actually played Violette in. I think it would be kind of fun to actually go to that stadium for a match that we knew was happening.
Can we actually reach out to Violette and import the Honky Honk band over for the game? Because that would be amazing.
Honky Honk cheering for us this time.
Yes.
Cavalier, who's the normal Jamaican champions, are also. But there's also a team that is, I have never heard of this team before. Maybe, Devan, you have. That has only played 1 match, but won their first match. So maybe they would qualify. Called Defense Force from Trinidad and Tobago.
That doesn't ring a bell, but it sounds awesome.
Yes, Defense Force FC. There's only 2 swords in their logo.
That's like so it's TNT Arsenal, like Heritage.
Yes.
Well,
so
do you think they were spin-offs from like Defensa y Justicia or?
Maybe, but like that they play at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, which is the normal national team stadium, not Cueva, which obviously we do not speak of things that happened there in 2017. But but it's still like it's one of the most CONCACAF pitches out there with a running track around it that is waterlogged in spots that you didn't know is possible to be waterlogged.
Like Frisco.
Yeah. Or San Jose.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other news or notes? I am going to reserve. I have officially chosen a Canadian football team, but since Scott's not here, I'm not going to reveal it.
Okay.
So I'll do it on air when we have all 3 of us or all 4 of us.
Okay. Yeah. But I will say the CFL season is heating up here to the point now of should be a fun race in the final 5 weeks. No one's out yet. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders lost to the Montreal Alouettes as they finally got their QB back last week.
All right. Well, we'll leave it up in the air, but enjoy it. I would say party until 5 minutes before kickoff on Sunday. We're in a cup final. It's at home. These things don't come around a lot, so have fun with it. Rub it in your fucking neighbor's face or whoever you want. Like, it's going to be a good time. I don't want to like doomcast or anything, but like we'll come out, we'll play hard, we'll do well, we'll try our best. I'm at least confident looking at the team and the cup so far that that's what's going to happen. So enjoy it. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but on behalf of Seth, Scott, and Brad, thanks for suffering with us. Bye.
Promise here for Austin Jarrett Stroud. It's Diego for goodness! He has written his name into Austin folklore.
They just won't go away.
Oh, he hits the upright again! That's impossible!
The Bears' season's going to end on a double doink.
Altidore squares it. Dempsey's missed it. Donovan has it. From hope, there is glory.